right? All right. So we have an interesting discussion, me and Jai. I'm a night person, he's a morning person, and we're just kind of debating on what's better. What's more productive? Who is more successful? Who is more fruitful in their current routine? So we were just talking about morning routines, like how we wake up, what we do. And so we just kind of want to talk about that, something really simple, something that everyone can relate to, because I'm pretty sure everyone in this world sleeps. And then as you sleep, you wake up. So Jai, for me, I don't know about you, but I am definitely not a morning person.
What does
I
it
don't do
mean?
breakfast. I don't do none
I
of that
always hear
stuff.
that when people say, "Okay, I'm not a morning person." Are you defining how your attitude is in the morning, or like what does it really mean? Are you grumpy in the morning? Like what does it mean? Like
I
to
think it's
you, okay,
all
what does it mean to you?
I think it's all of the above. Yeah, if you want to have a conversation with me in the morning, that's not happening. That's not happening. You know what I mean?
Why
Like
not?
it's just again, my whole thing is I'm not a morning person. So like
Yeah, but what does it mean?
don't come at me with anything that's complex or anything that's involved. You know, I'm really, if I got to take the kids to school or something in the morning, that's all my only task. That's all I'm doing. And even so, even then, their snacks have to be laid out, their backpacks have
So
to be all ready to go, and then it's just more me just getting in that car and just driving.
hypothetically,
That's me.
someone comes at you in the morning and says, "Okay,
They're getting a punch in the
we have a
face.
deal." You haven't even let me land. You let me land yet. Here's a deal. We can get this $1 million deal. I just need your ideas and advice or suggestions on what to do. Are you saying because you're not a morning person, you're not going to look into
Well, I mean, that's a bit different, but no,
it?
it is, because the idea is that if that's $1 million
Oh man.
deal, that would have been planned and scheduled to be done in the morning, and then I would have to commit to that, right? So if I
Fair
commit to
enough.
something, if I'm like, okay, this has to happen, it's something happening in Taiwan, and obviously their time zone's different, so we have to have it at 8 in the morning to meet their time zone. That's a different story. But if I was a CEO of the company and I was like an Elon Musk and I was in charge, hell no, I don't care.
So
Right?
you
Like my time
would
is
you if you're an Elon Musk, would you take your ketamine in the morning or at night?
if I'm him, I take it both morning and night. No,
Oh
so my
man.
whole thing is my time, as I get older, I'm realizing my time is more valuable than money, right? I have less of it now. I don't have as much, I'm not as abundant as I had it when I was younger. And so my time's of the essence. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'd probably, if it was money was no object and was more like this $1 million is more like a rounding error in my world, I'm sorry. I don't care. I mean, it's in the morning. It's too early. I don't need this. So that's just me.
Yeah.
But I'm not at that level. So more than likely, if it is something that it's going to be $1 million, it's going to give me a good bonus if I'm an employee, which I'm not, then yes, I would feel obligated to wake up in the morning, unfortunately, and deal with that meeting.
Yeah. For me, I don't necessarily agree with that comment when people say I'm a morning person or I'm not a morning person because I think you can be a morning person or not a morning person. It just depends on how you choose to live that day. For example, you go to bed really late. Obviously, you're going to be grumpy when you wake up in the morning, especially if you don't have enough sleep. That's normal. But by just saying that I'm not a morning person, I don't know. I don't agree with that statement because anyone can be anything during the day. You just have to put your mind to it.
Okay.
So when it comes to a morning routine, there are certain things that you don't do in the mornings, or there's certain things that you do in the mornings, depending on the individual, right?
Hmm.
That if you have a routine is something that everybody probably has,
Yeah.
or most people have, but for saying I'm a morning person, I don't, I just don't buy that sentiment. That's just me.
So I don't understand why you don't buy that sentiment. Like, so
Because,
you can even look at it. Wait, hold on. You can even look at it like this. Like, if
okay,
you're a night owl, if you're someone that
okay,
just really, so I function well, very well at night. Sometimes I do some of my best work between
Mhm.
the hours of 1 and 3 in the morning. So I think that classifies me clearly as a night owl. So if I'm up at night, it stands to reason that I'm not going to be able to wake up early in the morning. So could you
Fine.
not look at it like that as well?
Yeah, but that means that, but if you have to function in the morning, you would have to go to bed at night. It's not because you're not a morning
Not
person.
necessarily.
Okay, I attribute when you say morning person to the way you treat others or the way you function when you wake up
Hmm.
in the morning or midday or whenever it is that you wake up. But if you know you have to do something in the morning, you're going to make it a point to go to bed early the night before.
No, no, not
So that
necessarily.
changes your, okay. But your mind is set to do something early in the morning or in the morning.
So
If your mind
what?
is set to do something in the morning, okay, when you say that's why I was asking the question because I wanted to really get it. Are you saying that
Mhm.
you don't like the mornings? But if that's what you're saying, then is it because of what you do the night before? Not necessarily you don't like the mornings, probably the preceding factor is what you did the night before. That's what makes your morning miserable or happy or whatever the case may be.
And you know what? It might be subjective, but when I think of morning person, I think of me, and I think I just don't like the morning. I hate it. I think it's annoying. I remember when I was an employee many years ago, it would annoy me that I'd have to get up for 7 in the morning, when it's still dark, to get the train, to get to the union, and then get to my job. And then I would work for hours. I remember I used to watch my camera in my house and just see this beautiful house empty. And then at 5 o'clock, I would leave the job, take this train all the way back where I'm from, and then I come home at 7 at night. So I leave home at night, I get home at night. Irritated me so much. Anyways, go on.
Yeah, but that's not because you're not a morning person because you feel that way on a Saturday.
No, but
It's just the job.
you're right.
It's because of the job.
But I
So let me give you
okay,
an
go on.
example. I remember I would say I don't like certain days of the week. Or different.
Mondays.
I don't like, yes, I don't like certain times of certain days of the week. Like Sunday nights,
Mm.
my mood starts to change
Because you
by
gotta get ready for the you
by
gotta get ready for
Saturday
work.
night when I'm going to bed. I'm at the
Hmm.
happiest Friday night, but my mood starts to change Saturday night when I'm going to bed because oh, I have to go Sunday. Fine, I get excited when I'm going to church, but then I come back
Hmm.
home and it's like, oh, Sunday. It's like a drag. I have to go to work on Monday. Monday morning is by far the worst.
Hmm.
So then I can say, what does that mean? I'm not a morning person? No, I just hate Mondays. I just hate that day of the week because of it just signifies the beginning of in my mind, a long week.
And just quick commercial break. Don't you want to get to that place where you can choose your work day?
Of
Isn't that
course.
exciting? Like this.
That's the whole, that's
So
why I say, are you really a morning person? Or is there an argument to be made that there's no such thing as a morning person or a night or whatever it is?
I was gonna say, guys, if you like and subscribe, we can get to that. If y'all like and subscribe, we'll eventually get to that. So please and subscribe. Me and Jai are dying here. We do
Yes.
not want to work on Mondays.
And
If
that
y'all
way
don't
we
want to
can
do it
talk to you
either, y'all
guys.
can.
Yeah. And we can post videos for you guys at any point of the day. And that way you guys can watch anytime you want. And, you can
Exactly.
join us
Just
in our pursuit of not being morning. Like and subscribe
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
subscribe.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Anyways, back to our
anyways,
regular schedule program. I think I hear what you're saying. I define not being a morning person as just generally, I do not like mornings. I am not interested in waking up early. I love just working at night. Sometimes I'm like, I'll watch TV, I'll veg out till like maybe midnight, and then I'll be like, all
sorry.
right, it's time to get to do some work. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this before 3 or 4 o'clock. And that is why my definition of being a morning person, I'll never be a morning person because typically, if I'm sleeping at 4 o'clock, I won't be able to wake up for 7. Now, if I have to, I'll do it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I like it. I won't like it. And
Okay.
I was gonna add one thing real quickly. I think I'm lucky. I don't know if any other people are like this, but I sometimes only get like 2, 3 hours of sleep throughout the 5 work days. And then what I'll do is I'll sleep till like 2 o'clock or like 3 in the afternoon on the weekends. So I'm kind of hardcore like that. I'm a little Elon Musky like that. What'd you say? Ketamine, this ketamine.
Okay, so having said the whole morning person versus you, so I always hear this topic, people talk about the favorite season. What's
Mhm.
yours?
In
Like
terms of weather,
winter,
like
weather,
seasons.
yeah, like
Oh,
seasonal. Do you like winter, summer, spring?
I think definitely summer and spring. Yeah, 100%.
Why not the fall? You know, there's trees, beautiful leaves, and all that stuff.
I feel you're trying to set me up here, but I'll bite.
Go ahead.
It's the fall because it just reminds me of what's to come, which is winter. Time's changing. It's gonna get darker soon, so that's it. It just reminds me of, okay, yeah, so that's it.
No, I think I agree with you on that one. I don't
Hmm.
like the fall because it reminds me of what's to come, which is the winter. I think that's generally accepted, but I find that some people like the fall because of the trees and the leaves and the way they change.
Yeah,
Each his
I'm
own, but that's just not me.
I'm not
I'm not,
sentimental.
I'm
I'm
not
not
down.
sentimental like that. I
Same
wish I
here.
was. I had a friend of mine he was saying, your personality, you'll love Rome and you'll love all these places. I'm like, what? Why? I don't mind going to the Sistine Chapel, but like, really, I don't know. I'm not gonna spend
Why not? You
anyways.
don't want to see like the Vatican in those places?
Not really.
Interesting.
I have my 4K TV, 8K's coming out. Like it'll be the same experience. It's beautiful. I love it. But for me to go
Oh,
all the
that's
way
bad,
there,
man. To go
you
experience
know,
it. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I
not
mean,
really.
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it, but I like the mornings.
You like the mornings?
I don't mind the mornings. It just depends on what the day throws at me, right? But I wouldn't necessarily come out and say, "Oh, I'm not a morning person."
I think the question now is who's smarter, morning people or
I think
night
that's
owl
subjective.
people?
I think that's subjective
You think it's
because
subjective?
you find people who will tell you that I don't know. There was a nursery rhyme: "Early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise." I don't know if you guys read that
Yeah,
one.
they also said breakfast is the most important part of the meal. They debunked that. That's not really the most important.
Exactly.
There's
I
a lot
know.
of crap
So
out there.
it's a lot of it's very subjective, right? People say, "Oh, get 6 hours sleep, like go to bed by 10 and wake up by I don't know 8 hours sleep.
Yeah.
Go to bed by 10, wake up by 6, you function better." It doesn't matter what time I wake up, I still want to go back to bed. That's just me. Or what time so I just have to psych myself up to say, okay, I'm awake now. I got work to do. So I'm just gonna do it.
Hmm.
But it's subjective. I don't
Yeah.
think there's a remedy or recipe for success, whether you're a morning or a night person. It just depends on how productive you are and what line of work you're in. Would you
Yeah.
say a person who works night shift as a police officer is not a successful person? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, but that's more
subjective.
subjectiveness because I work night shift. My mom worked night shift. Usually at a factory. I worked at a factory with my mom, and you just get assigned it, right? You're assigned the 11 o'clock to 7 a.m. shift. You're assigned to the 7 to 11 shift. So that's a little bit different because that's not a choice. You don't have a choice in that. That's your job.
Mhm.
Versus us, we're choosing. I'm choosing to stay up till 3 in the 4 in the morning.
Here's the other question then. Would you rather have a 10 a.m. meeting for 2 hours or a 3 p.m. meeting for 2 hours?
A 10 a.m. meeting for 2 hours or a 3 p.m. meeting for 2 hours.
Mhm. So 3 to 5, or 10 to 12, or 3 to 5.
So number one, that's a long meeting. I would prefer to have no meeting that's that
No,
long,
no,
but
if you had to pick.
I hear what you're saying. And obviously, I think any normal person would say I'd rather get it over with.
So you're a morning
So
person.
no.
I'm just trying to prove
Yeah,
to you
no,
that
I knew you're
there's no
trying to
such
pitch.
thing.
I knew you're trying to do
I'm trying to set you up,
your
man.
macho head games. I knew you're trying to do some macho head games. No, but once again, that's no different than the police officer. That's his
By
job.
choice.
And
Yeah, no, but
I
okay.
even
Go
said,
on.
if I'm an employee and it's $1 million and I had to make this client happy, then I would do the $1 million meeting. I said that, right?
Okay.
But if I was an Elon Musk and I had the choice, Hell no, I don't care. My time is valuable. And so this is the same thing. If I can choose and there's, it's my world, then I probably just do 2 hour meeting whenever the hell I feel like it. You know what I mean? Let's do it at 1 to 2 in the morning. You know what I mean? Like that would be me. But in normal senses, get it over with as an employee mindset. I just want to get it over with. So I'm not bogged down. It's even Friday. Like, don't you hate when people schedule meetings on Friday? Like really? At least
Friday
if it was
afternoon.
planned
Yeah.
from the week within the week. But I hate it when people schedule a meeting the day of on Friday. Like, really? Like
No,
what?
this is the worst one.
Those people need to get. I
A
was gonna
long
say
weekend.
they need to get. But anyways,
A long weekend. Schedule a meeting. Schedule a meeting after one on a long weekend. It's suicidal. Like that would get you like hated for sure.
exactly.
You know what I
It's
mean?
just so
Like people
ridiculous.
again, no one's gonna like you. Now you have to preface it if you have to. If there's no, if the dire need that you need to get the people, you have to give them heads up or notice ahead of time, way ahead of time, so that they
Yeah,
know what they're getting themselves into. But to just out and out schedule a meeting Friday, long weekend, even for reoccurring meetings, I find people cancel them on a long weekend and just say, okay,
exactly.
because it's just the right thing to do. If you have to schedule a meeting, schedule in the morning, which is why I would say most people are morning people because they would rather have that meeting in the morning on a Friday weekend than a Friday afternoon. But hey, there's
And
my
and
point.
and there's another reason why you should like and subscribe.
Subscribe.
One thing I always wonder, what would you prefer if you're in a company, you ran a company, would you prefer a fleet of superstars like A plus students or a set of superstars that are C plus students? What would you prefer? Like if you're the company, if you own the company, what would be desirable to you?
Well, there's a reason they're A plus because then they'll propel the company and make more money.
Yeah.
But you have to give more context. Like they're just C plus versus A
Well, I said
plus.
they're superstars, but they're C pluses. They're superstars in their own
Oh, the
right, but
superstars.
they're C plus. So they're C average students, but they're superstars. They're good. What
Are you
would you
trying to make
rather?
that point? Or would it
Well, I
matter?
guess what I'm saying, the reason why I was Elon Musk said this, I don't know, because we were talking about Elon Musk, it kind of reminded me. And I remember he was saying something where, the A plus students definitely get in the door, but over time, it's the C plus students that end up getting positions in management and stuff like that, and kind of getting promoted versus the A plus students, they either fizzle out or they just kind of stay stagnant. And the reason why I brought it up is because it's an interesting thought. So your intelligence
So
and skill gets you in the door, but passion and motivation and desire and just thinking outside of the box, which is typically what C plus students have to do to keep up pace with the geniuses, the A plus guys, that creativity usually shines. And I always thought about that, like, yeah, like what would you do? Like if I was a company and I had the choice of the pick of the litter, would I really take a chance with the C student or the A student?
because that because you're a night person.
Yeah, yeah, I'm a night person, and they say your brain cells die at night. So,
Whole bunch of baloney, man. Okay. So, and I can understand how you could see it that way, but it depends on the level of intelligence. See, for me, I think having a kid, you start to realize, especially in this day and age, I'm not looking at him to get all A's anymore. I want him to be able to think outside the box. So I
mm,
remember he came home with an assignment one day and he got I think it was 12 out of 14 or something like that. And he was upset that he got those two wrong. And I
mhm,
looked at the two answers because I was like, why did in my mind, I was thinking, like, yeah, like, how come you got two wrong? You could have got like perfect and stuff,
yeah,
right? And I looked at the two answers and I looked at the other answers and I was proud of him. But at the same time, I was not happy with the school because the answers were very subjective. So the answer he picked, he was thinking outside the box.
mm,
And I like the fact that he picked those answers, and even though he got them wrong,
mhm,
but he was thinking outside the box because when I asked him, I can't remember what the topics were, but I know the whole point was he was thinking outside the box. And I said,
yeah,
wow, that actually makes sense why you would pick those two answers. So in this day and age, especially with AI and all that stuff, I think thinking outside the box or getting people that can think outside of what the norm is, which is not easy to find these days,
Hmm.
is very helpful. So if if you being the morning person helps you to think outside the box, or you do a study at night, or whatever the case, where you function better at night or in the morning, it's just what's your optimal level of performance.
And that I agree with. But this is the thing, I just in terms of your son, have you ever taken, you haven't taken any certification like Microsoft based certification or anything like that, have you?
For me,
Yeah, or just maybe
okay,
even
no,
Cisco. Okay.
no, no,
Um,
no.
okay. So one thing I've learned, okay, so running out of time, we got 9 minutes left.
Okay, wrap it up. Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I've learned is thinking outside of the box is important, but you also have to be able to think in the box too.
For
So
sure.
why I brought up Microsoft certification is I've taken several Microsoft certifications. So in the real world, we all know we use Zoom, we use this every technology or every company has its skill set. So no one really uses Open Office. Everyone uses Word, Microsoft Office, right? But no one really uses Teams in the public space. People use Zoom, right? But when you take their certification, when they ask you a scenario, you have got to think about the world of Microsoft. You cannot bring up
Yeah,
Zoom,
no, of
right?
course, of course, of
So
course.
it seems simple. You're right. You look at that and that seems standard. A lot of people don't get that. And a lot of
Mm,
people fail the tests because they don't get that. And so what I'm saying is thinking outside of the box is critical, but where the rubber meets the road is when you can think outside of the box, but you do know the answer to what
you apply it. Yeah, how to apply
they
thinking
need
outside
the
the
answer
box. Yeah,
to. That's the trick. So
yeah,
critical thinking, I think, is what you want your son to have, where yes, he's thinking outside the box, but for that purpose, for this specific audience, I'm gonna do this. But I know this is how it really is. And I think that's something that we want to build into our kids. I'm trying to get that into
of
my
course.
son. I try to rationalize with him. I know it's a fool's errand. He's only 6 years old, but still, I just want to rationalize it with him, and hopefully one day I hope he actually gets me like an aha moment. Obviously six, so it's not going to happen now,
Ah,
but yeah. So that's just my 2 cents with respect to your son.
no, that's good. That's good. With him, he's a great kid. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, I hear what you say.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely a morning kid.
Oh, really? Wakes up early and everything.
Wakes up
Watches
early
cartoons.
time. No, not during the week.
Oh,
But
okay.
on the weekends, yes, he'll wake up and he wants to do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to do his chores because he
Wow.
wants to get into his activities. Because he
Mm.
knows if he doesn't do his chores, then he can't watch TV.
How
So
old is
he's
he? 7?
7, yeah. So he wants
Oh,
to get out of the way. And his mom's Jamaican, so you should understand. Strict rules, man, strict. But yeah.
yeah. No, it's funny you mentioned that. I've never thought of giving my son chores. At 6 years
Oh yeah,
old?
7, yeah. The simple chores like
Mm-hmm. Like
not
clean up his
nothing.
toys.
Yeah, just
Okay.
fold his bed sheet when he wakes up in the morning, his sheets and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and clean up his toys. That's it. Gradually, we'll move to the stage where sometimes I'll ask him to take out the dishes from the dishwasher and just put it on the counter
Yeah.
because of course he can't reach a lot of the cabinets and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
there's simple chores here and there. But yeah, he
Yeah.
wants to get out of the way. Yeah,
And do you give him allowance?
if he does
Like
well, yeah.
if he
Like
does
there's an
well, so it's
incentives.
not like
Yeah, there's
standard.
incentives. No, no allowance. No, there's an incentive. Like for instance, if he gets a certain grade or he does something well, then I can give him $5.
Mm,
Or I'll tell him, okay, well, we'll put it in your piggy bank towards whatever toy you want to buy. But he's out of
mm.
toys right now. He's more gearing more into video games
Oh,
and
okay.
stuff like Minecraft and those types of things. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's a little different for him. Before it was Paw Patrol. He wants to buy all the characters and TJ Maxx, I think it was, or something. I
Mhm.
don't know. Now he's growing out of that. So
That's
all these
interesting.
kids, man, go in phases. Yeah.
That's interesting. I never really thought about giving my son chores. I mean, the thing about it is that I it doesn't happen often, but I
Okay.
kind of blame his mom a little bit more so. But I'm one of those parents where you can't leave your toys out. Right? Every
Yeah, yeah,
night I
of
do the
course, you have to.
dishes,
Yeah, those are the chores.
dishwasher.
Yeah.
I remember even when I was a single father, I would even put the chairs up on the table like a restaurant.
Oh
That's how
wow, that's
hardcore I
extreme.
was. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
extreme now.
You know why? Because I just love coming downstairs. I would love coming downstairs. I had a vaulted, my house was vaulted ceilings, and so it was like really high up. Just coming downstairs and just looking clean and crisp and new and ready to be messed up for that day. Versus you come in, and then that's another thing, right? Doesn't it makes me feel good whenever I come downstairs and everything's just clean. When I see toys from last night, when I see dirty dishes on the plate on the table from last night, it irritates me. It just doesn't put me in a nice mood. I don't know if
That's
that's
why you're not a morning person.
that. Yeah, could be.
Yeah,
But do you ever have that
man.
feeling? Like I just love coming downstairs or when in the kitchen, in the main area, in the main floor, and everything's just in place. The pillows are on the side, they're not all over the place. Toys are in the
Yeah, I
corner.
like tidy. I like, don't get me wrong, I
Yeah,
like tidy. But I'm not to that point where, like you pull up the
you're
chairs and
not
all that.
anal.
One
Okay.
thing that, yeah, no, one thing I cannot stand is a dirty kitchen.
Mm.
I can't. If I come to your house and your kitchen's dirty, likelihood that I won't eat.
You
Very,
won't even eat my food?
very high chance. I will,
Wow.
but I would have
Wow.
it at the back of my mind that the kitchen's dirty.
Okay. Or back of my
I,
mind,
yeah.
salmonella might be in this food.
I'll eat the food, don't get me wrong. I won't, I think that that was an extreme comment,
Yeah.
but I'll have it at the back of my mind that, man, kitchen's dirty. I don't know if I want to come and eat in this guy's house again, but I'll eat, of course. But I think it's one thing if you're cooking. I come to your house and you're cooking, that's different. But I'm saying I come to your house, food's ready, or you take out whatever it is, and look at your stove and it's like stains everywhere. It's nasty, it's dirty, and I don't like that.
There's this one thing. Sorry, I'm gonna jump to a topic, but you just reminded me. There's this one thing that my wife cooks. It's a certain type of lasagna,
Mhm.
and it's called a roux. It's a bunch of cheeses that are mixed in together. And she makes the lasagna in two different ways. This way and then this way where she has a roux, and then the other way where it's just meat sauce and then layers of pasta and then cheese and mozzarella and all that. And then she has this way, which is the roux. And every time I watch her make it, I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Really?
So yeah, so I think it's something, I don't know what it's called, but there's a certain phobia, not a phobia, but there's something where people see food being cooked, they can't eat
Mhm.
it. And
Really?
I can't eat that type of lasagna. I just can't. It just makes me
Oh,
sick. I can't.
wow.
I'll throw up
Interesting.
when I look at it. It's like this white. Even just thinking about it, like, uh,
That's interesting, man.
yeah, I can't. Yeah. So,
Wow.
guys, if anyone else is like me, please let me know. I think I'm alone in this world. So, hopefully, you can give me some validation that this is something that other people go through. You cannot watch food being prepared. You just get sick. It's not for everything, but yeah, this
Certainly.
particular thing, I just get disgusted. I want to throw up. Even just thinking about it makes me want to throw up. You never heard of that? You don't have that situation?
No, this is the first. I know situations where people cook, but they can't eat what they cook because the smell, they get
Oh yeah.
full off of the smell and then,
Mm,
they can't really eat much. That I know, but seeing someone cook and then you get irritated off of it, that's new. But
yeah.
again, that's, everyone's the first time I heard someone was allergic to eggs, I thought it was weird.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm
I
like,
heard of like bananas and apples, but not
yeah,
eggs.
it's weird things, man. It's like,
Yeah.
you don't eat eggs? I'm like, yeah, guys, like, yeah, no, I don't eat eggs. I'm like,
My
okay.
dad sends me this thing, and I don't know if you've seen them. There are these stupid videos where there's a phobia where when there's a lot of little holes, people have a phobia of it. It'll show people slicing things, and there's a whole bunch of small little holes, like honeycomb holes, and it just continuous, and it makes people's skin crawl. I can watch it, but a lot of people when they look at it, they'll cringe. Anyways, guys, it's been a pleasure. Hope you guys found this fruitful. Kind of did a free for all today, and it's been a pleasure, guys. Please like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. All right. Take care. God bless.
Take care, guys. Bye.